Hello, folks. Welcome to the RPG Lounge. So I finally finished Tectonica. The main story and the whole 9 yards. Did all that. So this is like my third playthrough because I played through once when it was in early access, and now I've played through the game now that they've made the change. And in between there was another playthrough. I restarted when I was doing the early access at least once. And then made it through on that like second or third try. I want to do a playthrough for you guys, especially if you are just beginning the game. That's the wrong thing. So if you're just checking this game out and you're getting through it, playing and trying to figure stuff out, there are a few little roadblocks that kind of get a little bit in the way. So it is nice to have somebody guide you through it a little bit. This will not be the end-all, be-all of guides, but I will try to explain stuff as I, build things and create stuff and try to make it as understandable as possible. These games are very addictive. I'll tell you that much. And you just have to kind of understand how the mechanics work and all that great fun stuff. And they do kind of drip feed this to you pretty well in this game, but there are definitely some two major roadblocks that happen in the game, and if you do not kind of pivot and adjust to those big ones, it really can stop your playthrough with frustration. So we'll hopefully avoid that. Alright, so when you're starting out, you can do new game. And we're going to do custom. I don't change a whole heck of a lot. So we've got standard. Now I go to advanced settings. One thing I do change, and honestly, you probably don't need to do this, but this takes the stress out of the game for me. I go to advanced settings, and I go here to infinite ore. There. I do that. Ooh, there's a dark mode. Increases the importance of bioluminescence. And, ooh, that's interesting, but we're not doing that. So the rest, you can do a lot of stuff. I mean, player speed. Can ignore encumbrance. That's kind of fun. I'll keep it as vanilla as possible. But as you can see, if you're encumbered and carrying too much, you'll move a lot slower. We'll see it because I'm going to leave it in. Low gravity. Ooh, that sounds fun. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here. You can just go to town here. You can adjust how much ore you get from mining drills. You can get smelter speed going like crazy. Assemblers. Yeah, you can really pimp out your game in whatever way you want. I wouldn't change a ton of stuff as you're doing your first playthrough. And this is why, because you're not going to learn the game if you turn on all of these crazy little things and such. So that being said, the only change I'll go and do is the infinite ore, which is in the advanced settings. So do that. And start. Achievements are disabled in custom games. That is the one downside of doing this, is if you do not play completely vanilla, you get no achievements. Sad face. I don't really care about achievements. If you do care about achievements, You can do the playthrough sort of with me, but you will run out of ore eventually. It's just the thing. So I don't like playing that way. I've never have. I really like Satisfactory and such that had all the infinite ore and such. But we should be able to start now, so let's get going. Start. There we go. So yeah, my other save file, I'm at end game, and it's a great place to be, but yeah, the frame rate, at least how I've built everything, the frame rate has tanked quite a bit. So I'm gonna try to build this next one in a way that will maybe mitigate that problem. We'll see. There we go. Oh.
Emergency resuscitation of all personnel initiated.
All right.
Facility and report to production terminal Lima.
Yes, sir. I will computer voice. So here we are. We have come out of cryo sleep. And apparently the building's falling. This building never actually falls though, so don't worry, you won't get hurt. A little bit of production facility over there. The last remnants of the old factories. We can actually get in there, so we'll do that later, and we'll be able to pick up like that mining drill over there. There's some couple ore veins over here, smelters. All this stuff we can actually just scan and pick up later. All right. Emergency supplies. Oh, they already gave us stuff in our inventory. What? That's cool. Iron components, electrical components, copper frames, copper wire. Alright, so that's fun stuff, I guess. Alright. So, when we're taking stuff. Ooh, nice. Hit, what is it? Left shift, hold that down, and left click with your mouse. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm playing on PC. So I'm gonna do all of the controls with PC controls. I know this is really popular on, I think it was Xbox One. But I don't have an Xbox One, so I'm playing the PC version. So all of my like tutorial kind of stuff or controls things will all be PC. I do apologize. That's just kind of the way it is. I don't have the only console I have kind of active right now is a PS4, so I'm a little bit behind the times with
Exit this facility.
doing a little Minecraft stuff, basically. And now you have 2 hotbars on the bottom of your screen. I think you can add more. I always just leave it to 2 because I don't need more than 2 hotbars. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because you might as well just go to your inventory if you're gonna have 3 hotbars, honestly. But that's just a personal preference. You don't have to do it that way.
Hello? hear me? Your suit can't transmit a voice or ID signal, but my sensors are indicating you're out there.
I am
First
up.
things first, check in at that production terminal. I need a second set of eyes on how badly damaged it is.
Yes, yes, Sparks. These plants, pick them out. These plants will be some of your best friends as you do this playthrough. They are used for everything. In most recipes, you can use them for. It's just they're very useful. So just pick them up. We're going to be using this land anyways, so we need to get rid of them anyway, and just kind of we'll collect them. We'll be able to use them later. Don't throw them away. Don't use them as fuel for any of your machines. Just keep them. This is Kindlevine. We'll definitely want this later because we'll be able to plant these in planters and things and make fuel for ourselves. All right, and yes, we'll listen to Sparks and go do the whole checking in with the facility thing, but we can just do this first. Fortunately, with this new playthrough, since I know what happens in the story and such, I have no deep need to complete story and such, and we can just go slow as we want. And I would encourage you to do that as you're doing a playthrough because this game is really fun. It's very immersive. It is marred, unfortunately, by a kind of not so fun endgame. I mean, it's okay, but I've never seen a factory game that actually had a really good endgame. So this is no worse than some of the other factory games I've played, honestly. But I know that our Kowloon Studios, I mean, they did finish the game and they got it into a 1.0 area, and then I think money ran out, and so we're not going to see a lot of updates and things to this game, which is really unfortunate because this is a really fun game. And not just a fun factory game, it's just a fun game in general. All right, so this is definitely what I would do just as you're beginning. Yes, you can check in with Spark. She'll tell you to do some little tasks and things, and we'll definitely do that. But since I'll be building around here, we might as well get these. Then we'll have a good supply of them. You can also, all these other plants, you can also pick these up too. But we're going to build a scanner soon, so you want to at least leave a couple of them so you can scan them for later. Same thing with this stuff. We'll need to scan it so we can add it to our inventory. That's how you kind of get technology, is you scan it, and then you hit T, which the T won't work right now because we don't have a tech tree. We will in a second, though. All right. So what does the game want from us? You can see this is the repair terminal. And that's kind of what the game kind of does. You, at least at this point, we have our first terminal, and you bring stuff to the terminal, and it upgrades and unlocks technology. Very standard, for the most part, factory game mechanics. So what does it want from us? It wants iron ore. It wants 10 of those. And it wants copper ore. 10 of those. Looks like we already have 8 of those, which is great. And what we can do.
This terminal is cooked. Mining drills were the only buildable tech I could recover. Try crafting a few with materials from some of the chests around here.
I will do that. Thank you, Sparks. You don't really. Well, we will soon, but you can go over here. pretty sure you can get some. Yeah, you can get ore.
If you want to give your shoulder a rest, try building a mining drill or two. And you want them at both the iron veins and the copper ones.
Yes, ma'am. I know. Sparks is our little voice in our head right now, and she will talk throughout the game. There's a few other folks who they really want you to build a mining drill. And we'll obey the game soon. We'll obey.
Congratulations, Breaker. You mined all of the ore you needed for the objective without building a single mining drill. I think we need to talk. Mining is a noble profession. My great-grandfather would be proud of you. Also, if he had a mining drill, he would have never swung a pick again. People who respect hard work don't make it any harder than it has to be. In the long run, automation is always the way to go.
She's really not happy with us. But that's okay. We have enough for the objective. And yes, we'll be building stuff. I just wanted to piss her off. And here we go. So we've got our objective stuff. Hit button up here. And wow, we get the sound and the graphic. And new technologies are available. Woohoo! Hit us. So, and then now we'll have another objective, which this is now ingots. Ooh. Which will change ore to ingots. It won't be a big deal.
Good work getting that ore plugged into the terminal, Groundbreaker. If you weren't on my crew, you should have been. For the next phase of repairs, you're gonna need a scanner. The tech for it unlocked automatically when you fix this thing. So, open up your crafting menu and build one.
Hit tab. Oh, look, it's blinking. So we can build, let's build 1, 2 of these mining drills. You just click on them. And for right now, we can actually craft from the menu. Eventually, optics will become too complicated for us to just craft on our own. We're not at that point yet. Okay, purple research. We'll talk about this later, probably. We do want to actually get this going eventually here. Purple research helps you to unlock the tech tree. So very important stuff. It'll be kind of our first product that we focus on making after we get the iron ingots and copper ingots. That infrastructure is really important too. Let's click on what they want us to do. Copper frame and an electrical component. All right, make our scanner. It won't take too long. We don't have any real buildables yet. We don't even have a smelter to make anything.
Scanner. Scan machine fragments to restore tech tree access.
Here we go. We got our scanner in our hand. It just automatically goes into your little hotbar. So come right over here. I am left clicking. I'm just holding it down. And I believe these are smelters. Yes, these are smelters. All right, so they are doing actually a really good tutorial here. Tech tree. All right, what do we got here? Oh, smelter. So you cannot unlock it yet. There's a little bit of a thing that you have to do.
Warning. Research cores required for activation of new technologies. Refer to tech tree for current core manifest.
Yes, sir, we will. So you need to create those little science cores or research cores, and you actually.
Reminder that you may want to build a mining drill now that you can.
1 second. Sparks really wants us to do a mining drill. You actually have to physically place research cores in your world. Eventually that'll become easier as they give you more options.
Upgrade module scanned. Additional tech tiers or cores may be required.
I'm just going to take this stuff because we like to have technology. Here we go. Here's our research core thingies. So we're gonna have to make a couple of these. We might actually get a few from these boxes too, so let's just kind of take a look here.
Your mining drills won't be able to get you everything you need to build the rest of those research cores. Situations like these are why we always left chests with backup components kicking around.
Now we can research our little plants and things. I don't know that this really does much. Go up here. And get those. And these little lights we'll be able to use later. So I'm scanning them all.
These were training and information terminals, Breaker. Scan them and then open up your databank to take a closer look at anything that hasn't been scrambled or lost.
All right. Press B. All right. Here's all the data you can look at. Yes, you can read it. Am I going to? Probably not. All right, let's create, we're going to create 12 of them. You can actually right-click on that to create a ton of them. At this point, I think we're going to make 12. That should at least allow us to unlock the smelter. Cool thing about this game is just take your time. I recommend highly that you just take your time. Don't try to... Even I did it in my last playthrough where I jumped forward when we have to make... There's a special kind of circuit later that we're going to have to make, which is one of the first roadblocks in this game. And I rushed forward to the next part of the game and didn't really solidify my production of that one product. And what this game does sometimes is it'll take one little product that you're making and put it in every single recipe of future technologies and such. And it can be annoying if you're not producing that or mass producing that one little piece. When we get there, I will definitely make a note of it for you. All right. Now, what does the game want me to do this for? Blink. All right. We can actually, there we go. All right. So we already have our little research cores here. Eventually, you will not have to do them this way. You won't have to just put them on the floor or something like that. You have a research core composer thing. You unlock it in a bit. It's not actually that late in the game until you unlock the thing. But then you'll just be able to put this in here.
Smelter technology available for activation in Tech Tree.
Alright. So they want us to do the smelter, which we'll do. The smelter is actually really important. Alright. Tech tree. Ooh, it's blinking. There, that's how you do it. So you scan the technology out in the world, you find it, you record it in your tech tree, and then you put tech points or research points in the actual world. And that allows you to unlock the technology. It's kind of a weird thing. You'll get used to it. A lot of other, like Factorio has like the whole making science and thing. I think even Foundry I think that has science that you make. Factory Town, same thing. They have like a research science mechanic to it. So it is a factory game thing. And it's not a... These aren't too expensive to make. And the next tier aren't that expensive to make. Eventually,
Technology
it gets pretty
activated.
crazy.
Proceed with construction of smelter.
All right.
You've activated the smelter tech, but you still need to build one and place it.
Yes, ma'am. I know. All right. I'm going to do one mining drill here.
Task inbound.
Doink.
Mining drill. Must be built at an ore vein and fueled with plant matter.
Yes, yes, I know. Plant matter, plant matter. Boink. And let us make... Can we actually build one? Yes, we can. Let's make 1, 2. We're going to just start real small in this episode. Just get some stuff laid down. We can change it at any time. Anytime you just deconstruct something, it goes right in your inventory. So don't worry about losing anything. You're not going to. For right now... All right, for right now, we're going to put this over here. We're going to just put it kind of close to each other. We're going to move this.
Inbound. Smelter. Supply with ore to produce ingots. Requires plant matter for fuel.
Yes, it does. Everything requires plant matter
If
for
you need
fuel.
fuel to get those machines running, try harvesting a few plants. They'll forgive you.
That is one thing. That the game is very helpful. Yeah, helpful in your process of creating stuff and things. So, all right. So they are correct. You should just get a lot of this plant matter and such, and this will help us get our stuff. And I mean, there's actually a ton of plant matter all around, even on the ceilings. Eventually, you can get that stuff too. That's actually really pretty stuff. My daughter and I play this game together, and she always tells me, "Don't destroy these. They're too pretty." And it's like, okay, okay. They're also great fuel for my empire of ore and mechanical things. So we have a slight difference of opinion. But honestly, they do create quite a bit of light since they're bioluminescent. So I would keep them, at least the ceiling ones, as much as possible. Because you can make lights in the game. It's kind of nice to have some of that bioluminescence, though. I'll leave it up to you. If you want to completely destroy all the nature in this area, in these caves and things, you go right ahead. It's your game. I won't judge you for it. Alright, let's... This should give us a good chunk of plant matter. How are we doing with plant matter? Yeah, we're doing okay. Alright. A stack for each machine. Right now, all we need to do is supply this one. We'll supply this one just to get some ore, and then we'll smelt it in a second. Very rudimentary stuff right now. It gets a whole lot more complex as you go along, but in these early days, on early episodes, if you will, it's just very straightforward. And we get to sit and kind of watch this make stuff. I'll let that fill up for just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and continue to pick up some stuff. So you will actually need quite a bit of this. Sorry for the clicking, that is my keyboard. I have one of those fancy schmancy electron or mechanical keyboards, so it makes a click every time you press anything. I don't know. I like it. Sorry. So you can also. There's a few things in here. I should have scanned some of that Shiverthorn, or not Shiverthorn, Kindlevine stuff. Shiverthorn's the next plant we'll need a buttload of. Alright. I'll go ahead and just grab this. This is very reminiscent of when you start like Satisfactory. Very similar, because you're grabbing all sorts of plants and stuff in that one too. Especially at the beginning, it is crazy. At least until you can automate. I think it's fuel? Like coal, I think, is the major hurdle in that game. Like the first major hurdle. Alright, this door is not open yet. It will be eventually. There's something story-wise that we need to have in there. I'm gonna take these lights. I'm doing nobody any good here. Give me the light. Thank you.
Just like your mining drills, your smelters can't run without fuel. You should be able to gather enough plant matter in the area to keep everything you've got up and running.
Yes, Sparks, I know. That's what I'm doing right now. Sparks isn't too annoying. She's a cool character in the game. It's just right now they really want to make sure that you're starting to automate stuff and getting in that kind of a mindset. Which is honestly really good. You should at all times automate things as much as possible. Just get in that mindset. You do not want to have to walk very far to do anything. You don't want to be supplying machines with fuel. Once you get the opportunity to be able to automate that process, do it. Just get in that mindset. That's what these factory games are all about, is just automating everything. Because you need to create that automated, like, foundational infrastructure to build the rest of your game on. You need that all to just be working on its own. It just becomes exponentially more labor intensive to do things in these games, and that's the whole point. Is you're building infrastructure and then building more infrastructure on the original infrastructure. It can get real overwhelming really fast. Hence my recommendation to really take your time. Just think stuff through. Build small at first. Build small, build simple. Eventually, we're going to get foundations and things like that. So we'll build, once we get foundations, we will start building all of our tech and such on foundations instead of just right on the floor. That's an inserter. You got to look real carefully on the floors too. Unfortunately, me being not very good with the vision thing, I can miss things fairly easily. If you do see something as I'm running about and I miss it, feel free to tell me in the comments that, hey, you missed that. I don't mind that at all. It actually really helps me. Alright, we should have a good chunk of this. There's some ore. I'm going to put the ore in the smelter. Copper ore goes there. Just click on it. And what I'm doing is I'm always holding left shift. I'm holding that down and then I left click on something. And it just sends the whole stack into the machine. You can actually right-click on some of these stacks, well, all stacks, and take half of the stack. So you can go boop, and that takes half of it. Let's put it back, which is a nice thing to do. So we should have. Now, you won't actually know this unless you played the original game when it was in early access. You won't notice this. They did increase the amount of ore it takes to make an ingot. It's not a one-to-one relationship anymore. I think it's like, let's see here. How many is it going to take? Four. Looks like it's 4. All right. So 4 ore to 1 ingot, at least for the copper, which is lovely. Let's go get the iron going. Take that. And we don't really have to stress out at all. We'll have enough fuel to do what we need to do here. You shouldn't really run out unless you just sit here and don't do anything, because none of this regrows. We'll have to do that later. So you do want to continue doing the things that you need to upgrade this terminal, but yeah. As long as we can get to planters, which is another level of technology that we will be using to create fuel for ourselves. Once we get to that, you'll never have to worry about fuel, because you'll be able to grow it yourself. And after that, there's more versions of biofuel and things of that nature that will give you increasing amounts of really amazing power potential. So, yeah, it'll be okay. You just have to get over this first hurdle, and should be just fine. All right, we have the requirements for iron. I will bet you we have enough copper ingots at this point to fulfill this next requirement. Looks like it to me. Ooh, let's take that. Ooh. Awesome. Let's put that in here. And hit the button. Tier unlocked. Sweet.
Terminal upgraded. Basic automation schematics available.
Cool. All right, let's hit tech tree, or hit the T button. Decomposition. What does decomposition do? All right, so if you go look over to the left side of the screen when you're on top of one of these unlockables, enables ability to craft or assemble dirt from organic materials. We don't need that right now. So, I don't really need that. I would like anything for logistics. A long inserter. Eventually we'll need that. That would be useful. I'll show you some setups for things for automation. Might not get to it this time though. I do want to see. Nothing for energy. Nothing for science yet. Mining drill. All right. So we don't have. I'm looking for conveyor belts. Conveyor belts are like the end all be all of awesomeness. see if maybe they might just have them. There they are. Okay, so we don't have to unlock these. Inserter, conveyors, and storage boxes. All right. Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna automate something. I'm gonna make 4 of these. So just left click 1, 2, 3, 4. Just wait until those are made. They actually construct very, very quickly. And I put these close to one another. For right now, I'm putting these really close to one another. We will be moving these. But I wanna be faithful to what I'm telling you about automating.
Task inbound. Inserter. Use inserters to
There you
transfer
go.
items between machines and conveyor belts.
So we want to automate this process. Now I do not have to take stuff from the drill and put it in the smelter. I've automated it. I don't have to worry about it ever again. All I have to do now is put fuel in. Yay. I know that's like a simple concept, and I'll probably repeat it many a time, but it really, when I first started playing this genre of games, I really did not get the whole you should automate everything kind of concept. I wanted to make stuff myself, and I thought that was easier, and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, that just ends up not being easier, especially because things get exponentially more complex in these games. So, just take my word for it. Alright, we're gonna hit the tab key. Yeah, conveyors. We'll make a couple of those. And we will need boxes. So, let's see. I'm gonna get 2 boxes. Iron ingots. Doink. Can we make a box? Not yet. More ingots. Drill, my little friends, drill! Since I did change the ratio of ore to ingots, it takes a little bit more time to actually make your stuff that you want to make. I want to show you something as this is going. You can see there's a holdup. So eventually what we'll do is have like probably 2 smelters for each drill, because it is providing enough ore to probably fill, I would say, 2 smelters, maybe even 3. But we're not doing it right now. That's that whole take your time thing, because there's more technologies that will unlock that will be very important. So I just want to take my time a little bit. Now, do we have...
Mining drills and smelters won't make your life that much easier if you're manually running ore from one to the other. Try some conveyor belts and inserters.
I got them in Sparks. I already have them. Look. Girlfriend. My goodness. All right. We need boxes. We need boxes to store this stuff, so I can just take it out of a box and not have to deal with anything. Okay, we can make 1, which is good. And blah, blah, blah. Where did it go? Oh, there it is, I think. Is that a... Yeah, container. Oh, it makes 4 every time. All right, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. So you do have to use inserters for all of the machines, storage, everything, which is a Factorio thing. So if you've played Factorial, you'll be in that mindset. I came from Satisfactory to directly to this game, and I had to adjust my thinking process because in Satisfactory you can just put stuff directly into machines, and it's a cool system. But definitely, if you're coming from that game, it's an adjustment. All right, I'm gonna make 4 more inserters because Sparks is correct. You wanna be able to actually automate this. There we go. So then we can just go and do other stuff. And this can be just over time, it's just gonna make stuff for us. Don't have to even think about it, except for we're gonna have to change this eventually, because we want to be able to have a fuel system going, and that will come pretty quickly in the future here, I think. If I remember, the second or third floor, I think it is, of this cave system, it does have planters, if I remember correctly. So it won't be too long until we actually have access to pretty much unlimited fuel, well, simple fuel sources, at least. Alright, now, what does the game want us to do? Oh, I see. It wants us to make these, which we have those. We gotta make 10. Oh, no, we just gotta make, like, 2 inserters? Let's feed the machine. Feed the machine! 1, 2. Blink. And upgrade. Alright. So we've fully upgraded this first terminal in the first episode. So, not too hard to do.
Beacons are back online. Inspect the radio console right next to the screen. It'll start beeping and blinking in 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Beep. Interact.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Live sign.
Access to all local facilities should be restored, including the one I've been stuck in this entire time. I've set an unlock code to the door.
Sweet.
I've got some tech you're gonna like. And I know you wouldn't dream of leaving without me anyways.
Right, of course not. We would never abandon you, Sparks. Come on. I can't promise that. But yes, we're going to leave it here. We've maxed out this. In the next episode, we're going to go and find Sparks. There's actually a little exclamation point over there telling us where to go. And that's where we'll end up going. We'll do that part of the quest and then kind of go from there. But hopefully you guys understand everything that is going on. Feel free to ask questions and stuff in the comments. Because I'm not doing this the absolute way that you're supposed to do it. I'm just doing it a way that makes sense to me. And I'm going to try as best as I can to explain stuff as I go along. But if I miss something, feel free to ask a question. Because I'm fine with just trying to answer it myself. And if I don't know the answer, I know people that know more about this game than I do. And I can ask them and get you an answer as well. So, all right, folks, I'm going to pause this for right now. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it happens to be for you. And this has been the RPG Lounge. I will see you in the next episode. Bye now.